Gerry Falk was inducted into the Manitoba Baseball Hall of Fame in 2005. Gerry, congratulations on your induction. Baseball, talk about it, why the sport, and what attracted you to it.
Boy, that's a difficult question, Clayton. I always enjoyed baseball, even as a childhood player. I was fortunate to be able to throw pretty hard. I grew early in my young career, and I was able to throw the ball hard, hit the ball fairly well, and so I had pretty much immediate success. So right away, when you have some success, you kind of enjoy the game.
Talk about the coaching aspect of it at that young age and developing your arm and the hitting even before you started playing junior or went to college.
Well, we were pretty fortunate in the little town of Snowflake. We had a couple of elderly guys that were interested in baseball. They took a couple of us guys aside and decided to make a team. And you know, in a small community, you need 2 or 3 guys, or maybe 4 or 5 guys to be competitive. And once we got to be fairly competitive, we joined the provincials. We're fairly successful at the provincial level, and then from there on had a college opportunity.
Let's begin with the Carmen Goldeyes of the Manitoba Junior Baseball League and winning 4 consecutive titles from 71 to 74, and just why those teams were so successful.
Well, those were very successful teams because they had a combination of successful players and great people. In order to be successful, I think you need to have great people. They were competitive players. There were players from the surrounding area, from Morden, from Winkler, from Carmen. And you know, when you get the best players from each community and amalgamate those things together, and all those guys played for each other. And when you play for each other, you're going to get winning combinations.
And there's a lot of pride in wearing that Goldeye sweater, even playing junior ball, because they took ball pretty serious.
Oh, they did, and it was just everybody knew. Everybody knew. We had a saying for the Goldeyes, and everybody knew. You know, if you didn't do it, somebody else would pick it up for you and do it for you.
All right, your 4 years at Mayville State College. Talk about the recruitment and getting down there and playing.
Well, that was quite interesting. I was actually playing junior hockey at the time when an old coach, Al Meyer from Mayville State, came by and recruited me and said, you know, we'll give you a good scholarship if you come down there. And I just packed my bags and decided to go. And I went down there. There was a bunch of rookies at the time. There was about 5 or 6 veterans. And, you know, I enjoyed my time down there. It was a great bunch of players. You know, I was really fortunate to play with some great people. And I started there as a rookie and was able to play my first year, and it just culminated with 4 great years of baseball there.
Did that extra experience lead to bigger and better things for you when you look back at it and developing your arm and your different array of pitches?
Oh, it definitely did, because there was guys that were at certain points in your career, you think that you might be the best, or you can almost throw the hardest. But when you go down there and you see that there's just a multitude of other players that are much more capable and better than what you are, then you start learning from those people and you start adding to the tools that you have. And definitely, when you compete against that level of players, you definitely get better.
Red Boyne Senior Baseball League and the Carmen Goldeyes now playing senior ball. Just talk about the success of that team over a decade and just the rivalries and just how much fun it was to play senior ball.
Well, that was a great 10 years there. We only had about 12 players, and everybody came to the ballpark, knew their position, knew who was throwing, knew who was catching. And, I would have been a feared pitcher if I had to pitch against those Carmen Goldeyes, because 1 through 9, they were just competitive. They swung the bat. And as a pitcher, I'd throw the ball. And if there was 2 out and somebody hit a ground ball or hit a fly ball, I would just walk off the mound knowing that somebody behind me is making the play. And they did. And they were just, they were great people again. And I think when you put that together, everybody was playing for each other. It wasn't about anybody. It was about the team. And I think that's why the Goldeyes were so successful over the course of time.
The rivalries, though, there were some intense playoff series. Provincial finals with teams from the MSBL. Talk about that and just how intense it got later on in the fall.
Well, we really had some intense rivalries with the Red Boyne to start with the Elmwood Giants and St. Boniface Native Sons, and it was a battle to get through those guys. And then we had those battles against Riverside Canucks and Brandon Clover Lakes, and with the Riverside Canucks, we knew that they were always going to be there, and they had some long-time big time home run hitters and good ball players. So we knew that even if we lost or if we won the first game, it was going to go 3 in a best of 3 in that Labor Day series, and you just live for that Labor Day series.
Talk about your time with the national team.
It was a great experience because we played the world's best. I had the experience of playing with Team Canada earlier when Korea and Japan made a couple tours through Canada, so I got the feel of what that type of competition was like, and then to go and play at the world level with the best players in the world, it was a great experience. And just to see that you could have an opening ceremonies with 120,000 people, and then you'd play in front of crowds of 20-30,000. But when you go to Central America, everything is about baseball in Central America, and to see 12 or 16 different countries come together and for one dream, is quite exciting.
Your longevity. Talk about your playing days, because man, you played, it seemed like forever, and you answered the call. It didn't matter if you were playing in the MSBL and had been traveling with Bertle or wherever at the Cloverleaf. Talk about that, and then hanging on and still being effective.
Well, I think I was pretty fortunate. I didn't have a lot of injury trouble with the arm. I was, as I say, I was really fortunate, and then I got to play with a bunch of great people, where it was camaraderie, and not only were you able to carry on your career for a long time, you had that camaraderie with other people. You didn't want to miss just because you knew all the fun that other guys are going to have. And as I say, God gave me a successful arm in terms of longevity, which I'm really thankful for. I'm paying a little bit for it now, but I'll tell you, it's a sport that I would have never given up on.
You've been giving back a lot to the game over the last number of years with the coaching part of it. Talk about that and just the love of staying in the game and watching players who maybe aren't that talented all of a sudden do the work, and all of a sudden they're good.
Yeah, it's enjoyable. In fact, I think it's enjoyable coaching as it is playing. To see kids progress from a minor level to go through a higher level, play with Team Manitoba, go to colleges in the States, and further their career, and just see the success that the kids get when they excel in something, and whether it's hitting a home run or making a great play and supporting guys. And I feel it's part of my duty to pass on some of the skills that I have, because obviously somebody did it for me. And I think that's a great part of the game is enjoying that part of the game with other kids. And I think it keeps you young as well. I think that was one of the things that helped me stay fairly young, because I identify with the way the teenagers, the junior ball players think now, and playing alongside of those kids is a great opportunity for anybody.
Is the sport still healthy, you feel, in our province?
I think it's healthy. I think it could be healthier. Unfortunately, there's a lot of other activities that are taking place. Soccer is becoming a bigger sport all the time, and then there's those lifetime activities and those extreme sports that kids are involved in now. It's taken away a little bit from the team sport that a lot of kids have an opportunity to be a part of. We do still have the individuals that exceed and excel in sport, in the sport of baseball. You can just look at the major league level, but there aren't as many. The average level of our game maybe is not as strong as it was 10, 15 years ago, and I think that's just because we have a fewer kids playing the game.
Reminisce about the night you were inducted into the Manitoba Baseball Hall of Fame, and seeing, of course, your family, friends, former teammates that evening, and how special that was.
Well, it's really special. I had almost my entire family there, because they went out of their way for me all the years that I played. So that was special. Being inducted and having Frank McKinnon give me the introduction speech. He's a hero of mine. Sitting with a table of Carmen Goldeyes, who got me there. You don't get there by yourself. And I just happened to be the pitcher. They were my defense. And whenever we needed a run, it didn't matter whether it was the bottom of the seventh or bottom of the ninth, there was somebody there that was going to come through. To sit with those guys and be a part of that, and be a part of all the great people that have gone through and gone into the hall, is just an incredible experience.
Gerry, thanks for this, and congratulations on such an outstanding career. Gerry Falk was inducted into the Manitoba Baseball Hall of Fame in 2005. I'm Clayton Draker.